Hello, Tanya. Where are you? Are you in Oslo or Delhi?
अभी हम आधे घंटे से बात कर रहे थे and suddenly you're like record and a totally different version happens. But hi Sagar, I am back home now after Norway Chess.
Wow.
So been sleeping a lot all day today. And you're actually the first person who I'm getting on a call with since coming back, apart from family.
I mean, the Norway chess was so exciting. I'm sure you are super drained, tired, but also filled with a lot of joy and excitement, right?
I think you've nailed it. You know, it was a lot of work, a lot of long hours. It takes it takes a lot of physical, mental, emotional toll to do this kind of an event, but it also fills you with energy, with everything that you get to see and to witness, and just the greatness. I mean, I think it truly was the tournament of the year.
Why do you call Norway the tournament of the year? I want to understand that. So I have some very nice pictures that I have taken. Some from your Instagram, some from the official uh, Flickr page. But first, for all the people who are unaware, you were there commentating from the venue. You were commentating from for chess.com along with David Howell and Jovanka. How was that experience?
It was a lot of fun. It was amazing. I think we'll get to the tournament, but from the commentary perspective, perhaps I think what we did in Bombay with the World Championship was up there for me, as you know, as one of the most uh, incredible core memory experience. And I think Norway Chess really matches up to that. Loved working with David and Yavanka. We Our producer Bick, it was all for chess.com, and we were just told from the start that the vibe of our commentary needs to be like three friends watching chess. There
Uh-huh.
were no sort of restrictions kept on us. You know, of course, we had to have a professional sort of outlook towards it, but ऐसा नहीं था कि ये नहीं बोल सकते, you can't do this, you can't say that, nothing like that. He just wanted us, he gave us so much freedom to just be ourselves. So we had a great time as a team working together. I mean, this photo doesn't do justice, honestly, because none of us look happy.
No, I mean, this is like I just wanted to show the setup there. I thought it
Yeah.
was like an open kind of a setup. It was not inside a room, right? They had put like these backdrops.
So it's inside a bank building the tournament happens, and they have three studios. So the bank building has these beautiful stairs and these different levels. On the ground floor, as you enter towards the right, is where they had the TV broadcast, the Norwich as official broadcast, where Vishy, Christian, and Anna were hosting that show. That's the one that I did last year. So that's on the ground floor.
It's
Then you
the
take
That's the official broadcast, right?
Yes, that's the Norwich. This is the one. Yes. So, in fact, this production team, everyone who's standing behind, are the people I worked with when I was doing Champions Chess Tour in Oslo and last year's Norway Chess.
Oh.
So, really great team. And yeah, so this is as soon as you enter.
Hmm.
This broadcast, I think it was on Sony Live in India, it was on television in China, and a couple of other channels across the world. Then you climb up a flight of stairs, and on the left side was a TV2 Norwegian studio
Uh-huh.
that
There,
was
I
in the
think where
open.
John Ludwig Hammer was doing, and right.
Exactly. So, and all these broadcasts are in the open, so people are walking past and everything. It's full energy vibe. Then towards the right of that broadcast on that same level was the chess.com cave, because it was slightly andar jaake, still in the open, and that's where we would have our broadcast. And very often when we'd get players, there would be a lot of people, a lot of fans who would come and stand and sort of watch the interview live, cheer for the players. So it also gave us a lot of energy.
Amazing, amazing. Tanya, I wanted to sort of look through a few pictures that you selected for your
I'm always
Instagram.
scared when you do that.
I think I'm always looking at your Instagram posts, and I always love how you thoughtfully select every picture, then you write about it and so on. So this one had a lot of pictures. I selected a few of them. This is the first one. It
Yeah.
has Vishy and Gukesh both. Uh, Tell us a bit about this picture and also both of these individuals. Did you manage to find some time to spend with Vishy, with Gukesh there?
With Gukesh, he was playing, so it was hard. I mean, although we were on the flight together from from Frankfurt to Stavanger.
Okay.
So Humpy was also on that flight. Christian was also on that flight. Gukesh was there. His father was traveling with
While
him
going to the tournament.
while going. So actually, now that I remember, I did chill with him for a couple of minutes in that flight where I told him some very bad jokes,
Oh.
and I wanted his opinion on them. I think one of them he found it like. Should I tell you the joke? It's really bad.
Is
Though.
this actually something like a generational thing? Because Amruta is also cracking bad jokes. You are also from the same generation as her. Maybe you all have become like bad jokes.
I think the joke itself isn't bad, but we need to work on our delivery. I don't know what's it with Amrita. Is it the joke itself or is it the delivery? With me, definitely the delivery is the problem.
See. Okay, I want to hear the joke.
Okay, fine. So, okay, I'll tell you. It's really bad. So I went to the zoo, and there was only one dog there. It was a Shih Tzu. You might have to edit it. I'm not sure if this is an appropriate joke. Wait, so this one, okay, what do you think?
I think
Because I'm
Gukesh,
thinking of cracking it on one of my.
must not have laughed at all.
No, this one he found funny. What he didn't find funny was the next one. This he thought was still funny.
Because
So
just
I
for our
wanted his.
viewers to know, Shih Tzu is a dog breed, correct?
Yes, correct. So it's a bit of a pun one.
Very nice.
Wanna hear
Did
one
you make
more?
this?
No, of course not. I'm not a joke writer, but I just like I don't even know where
If
I
you would
heard
have
this.
said that, I would have believed it, but
I honestly wish I was that creative, but I actually find this joke hilarious. My second joke that was checked with, it's like material that you have to try with people.
correct.
And then I was like, just tell me honestly, because I'm thinking of cracking these on the broadcast. So the next one, are you ready for this, Sagasha?
I'm already a bit shaken up after the first one, but getting ready now, yes.
Okay, so the next one is all the Chinese sauces ran a race. Szechuan.
Nice one.
What do you think? Okay, I have one more. Can I crack? Promise it's the last one, then we can get to the chess. And you can, of course, cut these out in the edit.
No,
and you probably should for my sake.
In fact, the moment this interview ends, it's uploaded without any edit.
Okay, then maybe I won't say the third one.
No, go for it. Go for it. Now you can't.
Okay, actually, the third one's a chess joke, and I really like it. And this joke was told to me by Ramesh.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite jokes. So once there are two best friends, okay, and they love chess, and one of them dies and goes to heaven. So the friend who's left behind is very sad, and he's really missing him, and he's like, damn, like my chess playing partner, he's gone, and he's very, very sad. And then one day, this guy is like sleeping and he gets a dream about this friend who's passed away, who's now gone to heaven. So in that dream, so this friend of his is very happy and he's like chilling and he's having the time of his life, I want to say, but like he's dead. But anyway, so he's having a great time, okay? And he's in heaven.
Already.
Okay, so he's in heaven. And see, you like it's my flow, Sagasha. You have to let me go on my flow. So he's in heaven and he's having this great time. So then this guy's like, "Hey man, I really miss you. How are you doing? You've gone so far away. Everyone misses you. I miss our time together." So this guy's like, "Don't worry, I'm having such a great time here. It's honestly the best up here. It's awesome. Like." I've got a good news for you and I've got a bad news for you. So this guy who's left behind is like, okay, fine. Like, tell me what's the big news. So he says, every day you won't believe it, but every single day there's a chess tournament that happens in heaven, and every single day I get to play against like legends. Like yesterday I played a match against Capablanca. Day before that I played against Alekhine, and it's just been awesome. And now the bad news is that you're playing against Paul Murphy on Saturday. So I think this is a great chess
I
joke.
agree. I agree that you need to improve your delivery. Why?
Ah,
Because you built it up so well, so well. You are reaching there,
my punchline.
and the punchline is like this. It is like there's one thing good and one thing that's bad, and you're like, the guy's like, "Can you tell me what is good?" He's like, "Morphe is here." He's like, "Oh, Morphe is here. Wow, what's the bad news? You are going to play against him too."
Yeah, that's actually a good delivery. See, now if I knew that I was gonna come on this interview and tell you these jokes, I would have prepared them. I would have rehearsed it. But abhi वैसे my heart is beating so fast. But I agree. But I told you this that my delivery is
Hmm.
horrible.
No, but
But the
I
jokes are
think
not
you
bad.
built it up beautifully. Like
Yeah.
how
Like setup
I
अच्छा
could
था.
पूरा ऐसे picture हो गया like where they are in the
Which
heaven.
one's the best out of these three?
I think I don't like these wordplay jokes because I feel like they are very easy to make. Like you can take a word and then you say, ah, yeah, cut it into two. Okay, this is then you build it. You can do reverse engineering, with that. This one was
Hmm.
very nice.
Yeah, I actually really I found this joke so funny when I heard it. I think Ramesh definitely cracked it way better than I did, but it's a great joke.
Okay, so these jokes were told to Gukesh. Um,
No, I didn't tell him the heaven one, but I told him the pun ones,
hmm,
and he found one of them funny. The other one was like average, but he did advise me that probably I shouldn't crack them at the broadcast. So I was like, okay, fine.
and you took his advice, I guess.
I haven't done it yet, yeah.
Hmm.
So that happened, but during the tournament, we had a few interviews with him at after his games. I mean, after his win against Magnus, he joined us in the studio, and then Vishy and I actually did manage to spend some time together because we went for this lunch to this beautiful South Indian restaurant.
Yes, I
And there's
have
a
a
bit of a
very
story.
nice picture of it actually. This one.
Yes. Oh God, this is just such a nice memory for me. It was on the first rest day,
Hmm.
and I was sort of missing home a little bit. And so this restaurant is called Spiso. It's very close to the tournament hall. And last year at Norway Chess, every chess player, like every Indian chess player, was going to eat here. Prague, Vaishali, um, everyone was going to this restaurant. And they would tell me that Humpy was also there. So they all told me that you must go and eat here. But I didn't get time that year. Then this year, I got a message from Nitesh, who's the owner, and he's a super nice person who just takes care of everyone. His family runs it. It's a family run restaurant. He and a group of his friends. So he was like, you must come. And I was like, and I knew that if I get a chance, I will go for sure. Then the night before the rest day, we were at dinner. Vishy was there. And Vishy said he's going the next day to Spiso. And I fully self invited myself. I said, Ki main bhi aa rahi hu. We'll go together. So we made a plan, and next day we went. The food was insane. The
Wow.
company was amazing. We had such a nice time. There's such warm, hospitable people. Or khana to next level tha. The main chef is from Chennai. So it was super. We had, my favorite was the salmon curry, which they did really well. And there were these sort of, I'm forgetting the name, but it's like a fried idli. Very tasty. So loved the food. मेरे को अभी सोच के ही my mouth is watering क्योंकि मैंने खाना नहीं खाया है. And we had a great time. But more than that, you check out everyone. They were all eating at this restaurant. These
Hmm.
guys looked after our players so much, Sagar. It's amazing. Every day they would have their food ready. They would get it delivered to the hotel or it would be picked up. So they really took care of everyone. It was beautiful.
So Spiso has now become a partner of Norway Chess, correct?
Yes.
And I just interviewed Gukesh a few hours ago, and he told me that they were so kind. He liked one dish, and they have actually renamed it after him now because he ate it almost every day over there.
Wow. What was the dish?
I think he
I
said
mean,
it
now it's
was,
called the Gukesh, but
yeah,
what
no,
was the
no,
dish?
it was something with mutton. He said, so
Okay.
I don't know uh, what name it was, but yeah, it's
Where was Ekama? Yeah. Amazing food, by the way. And they also came one day, they did ceremonial moves one of the
yes.
days. So I think they partnered up with Norway Chess. And yeah, if anyone's in Stavanger, you have to check it out.
And talking about this rest day, I believe that Spiso wasn't the only thing you did, right? It was also this
Oh my
amazing
goodness.
photo that I saw. In fact, the moment I saw this, my heart stopped for a moment, and I was like, okay, if you go even a bit closer, you might just fall off, like, but it looks so beautiful, this place.
You know, I think honestly, probably the best rest day at any tournament that I've had. That photo doesn't do justice to how beautiful the
No,
place was.
this does justice, Tanya. This looks beautiful.
Sagar, trust me. When you go there, like you said, your heart skipped a beat. So it's a 2 hour hike up to this place. I'm not a regular hiker, and it was a blur ho gaya.
Sorry.
So I'm not, it took a lot. Like it was a very demanding hike. There were a lot of, these big sort of hilly areas, boulders that you had to cross, and narrow paths. And it was not easy at all for me. For somebody who hikes often, it's very moderate level difficulty. For me, it was difficult. There were so many times. So the night before I was going, I was chatting with my friends, and they said, the rule number one when you go hiking in Norway is that there's no shame in turning back, because the hikes are so difficult, and if you feel you're not able to do it, you should stop, and it's totally fine. I must have had at least 10 of these moments going up to this spot, but I was like, ab yahan tak aa gaye hain to kar lete hain. The next time I was like, itna kar liya hai to thoda aur. So, and I was with Bick that day, so he and I had taken this hike together, and he literally pushed me to greater heights that day, not only during broadcast but this adventure also. He was very supportive. I was slowing him down a lot, but he helped me a lot that day. I'm not kidding. When you get to the Pulpit Rock cut top, I can't describe the feeling or do justice to what you feel, but you just forget everything. I have never seen anything so beautiful and powerful in my life, Sagar. It is a mental image that is just going to be with me forever.
Wow.
It is, so it's a fjord, and fjords are formed when a glacier cuts through a mountain, and this happened like ice age, like millions of billions of years ago. When a whole glacier moves forward, cuts through a mountain, that's why you have these jagged ends. That's why it's so sharp. And when apparently temperatures rise, the glacier, it comes back and the sea fills the area. So that's why you see this U-shaped valley, a very strong valley. It was just unbelievable, and this is just a part of it. The direction that I am looking at, the whole fjord flows in that direction. It was stunning beyond imagination. It's also very high. Not
Must be
recommended if
cold,
you
right?
have vertigo or something, because it's you actually feel like बहुत ज़्यादा ऊपर है.
Did you
Uh,
feel like you're to put your legs like dangling out? Does
you know,
anyone do it?
So Sarah showed me a photo of Sarah and her husband who had gone the previous year, and they had their leg on the edge, and she was like, "I was dying, but we wanted to take this photo." I was
But
not so
who
gutsy to
took
do
this
it.
picture, by the way?
So this photo is taken by Big. So the rock is shaped in such a way that you have this sort of a cliff coming out, and then it's a U, and there's another rock on the other direction.
So you were quite far from each other, and
Quite far, quite far. And so it's like a jutted out rock, and then like a U shape एक और rock है
correct,
आगे.
correct.
That's where Big took it from.
Nice.
But this is, I'm telling you, beautiful photo, but the image in my head, like you just filled with emotion. Exactly. Look, I couldn't move. I could not move from here. I was, and we had to hike back 2 hours. You're like, bus miss ho jayegi. But I just wanted to sit and contemplate life and everything.
Any big breakthroughs that came in your mind? Because this
That,
does look like a place where breakthroughs can happen.
I fully agree. I mean, this is totally that. I think it was the lesson, that you just keep going. I mean, had I given up and turned back and not reached the top, I would have been filled with regrets. All the pain, everything was completely worth it, every bit of it.
So nice, so beautiful. I think I really would love to come to Stavanger. I mean, for Norway Chess, but also for this hike now. It looks
Did
so.
you see when Aditya went for this hike?
Yes, it was full foggy.
It was he went on a day when the weather was so bad, and actually it's very dangerous to hike on that day because it gets very slippery, but they braved it. And like two different photos, right? You can't see anything
Yes.
except the rock. So I think he has to go again. So the chess based India team has to go here.
Yes. And there was also this one video that you posted. It's with a cat. Where did the cat come from?
So this is why your interviews are so legendary, because you find all these things and then you get the BTS of everything. So this is Maria's cat. Her name's Mishka,
Hmm.
and Maria was traveling. Maria Emelianova. She's, of course,
Oh,
the
she brought her
photographer
cat.
behind. Yeah, yeah. So this is her cat and the ace photographer, and so this is her room. And everyone, I think, all the girls were visiting her room because the cat was so cute and we just want to like chill with her for a while. So this was one of those evenings.
Oh, wow.
It was like therapy, like
So
cat
nice.
therapy.
So nice. And Tanya, one of the things I noticed here in this entire tournament, I felt like you were asking some very interesting and bold questions, especially in that last Magnus interview. And it's not it's not normal of you. Like, for example, you asked one question like, "Who's the next goat of chess?" And the other one was, if there was a sponsor, who would sponsor the Gukesh Carlsen match. And both these questions were so good and interesting for everyone. But and you asked them with a lot of confidence. And like, I don't know, I've never heard you ask these such questions. Was it something that you prepared for? How was it like then? And they were amazing.
I mean, I think I've also seen you do this so many times, and I think we've also spoken about this, that if there's something that you want to ask, you should get it out there. You should
Hmm.
ask that question and not think too much about whether it's an appropriate or it's a right question, or how would people react. Because if you lose that moment, I don't know if you remember when we did the World Championship, my heart was beating so fast when I asked Vishy to take us on a tour of
Yes.
his trophy room, right? But I was so happy after doing that because one, he of course played along, agreed, and
Hmm.
he showed us around. But it was such a nice, wholesome moment. And I think I think I've been pretty open about the questions all along. I think it's something also that I've maybe worked on over time, gotten more comfortable in asking these kind of questions. But I think this was on everyone's mind. I do have one regret because the question that I asked about Gukesh's match with Magnus, and I think his answer was to the line that if I wanted to play it, I would still be in the world championship cycle, or would try to, would think about the match. But we know that the reason he doesn't, or one of the reasons is that the format of the world championship match is
Hmm.
not exciting or motivating to him. I think my question, what I wanted, was more in the lines of, let's say if it was like a Norway chess format, something that you enjoyed, would you then like be up for, would you want to play that match? I think that part got left behind somewhere. But
But you
it was
can't
still
ask
something.
everything. Yeah, I mean, when
I
you
would love it if someone comes in and goes like, okay, I'm putting this money on the line. Here's the match between world number one and world champion, a clash of generations, and let's do it. Would love to see that
I
happen.
think I'm sure someone would be interested to sponsor such a match if
Chess Space India.
थोड़ा मुश्किल हो जाएगा, but uh, this question when you asked, and the way Magnus reacted, the pause that he took, all of that is very interesting to watch. कि कितना time में answer देगा, then what is he thinking about something. So it was very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
And
on.
I think the other one that you mentioned, I feel like that was also something that was on my mind. I mean, I would love to ask and have this conversation, with him, because
That was the
really
next
what.
goat of chess, correct?
Yes, I think it wasn't really more around like the next goat of chess, but more around the domination that he's
Hmm.
had in the chess world, starting from being world number one. And I'm trying to remember, was it 2011 or 2013? Since
2011,
maybe
yeah.
2011. So 2011, 2013 was the match. Yeah, 2011. And after that, just being the undisputed world number one. I mean, the kind of tournaments and the number of times that he's won, multiple world championship, multiple super elite tournaments, just over and over again. It feels like whatever he plays, he wins. That kind of sort of domination that we've seen, and I think in some ways it's been so incredible to witness
Yeah.
that. We have amazing talent, like, there's Ali Reza, Nodebek, Gukesh, Arjun, Prag, so many youngsters, so promising. And who does he feel has that spark? And I just feel like he was so honest in his
Yes.
answer. It
Because at
was a
some
full
point,
mic drop moment.
when he said no one,
Yeah.
the commentators started laughing a bit, and Magnus kept a straight face, and he was like, "Yeah, there's no one." And
Yeah.
that was a great moment. I loved it. Actually, guys,
He
you should
completely
check
meant
out.
it. I mean,
Both these shots are there on Tanya's Instagram as well, and I think Chesscom India has cut them and made videos, so they're very beautiful.
yeah, I think what he said was quite powerful and something that makes one really think about generational talent.
Right, right. And Tanya, there is this beautiful picture of yours, which was with the winner of the women's tournament, Anna Muzychuk, and she played beautifully. Yeah,
So good and so strong, but I think the turning point was her big win against Vengeance, which happened. But she was consistent throughout. I've known Anna for many, many years, and she's in London right now, so where
yes.
you are, and I'm gonna miss all of you so much.
Did
She's,
you
I
crack
think,
your joke here by chance?
I should have. I feel I need the sample size has to be bigger than just Gukesh and Sagar for this one, but I'll definitely bring it up next time I see her. But Anna's a complete sweetheart. She is just such a lovely person off the board as well. The few times that we got to chill, talk, sometimes over lunch we'd meet, sometimes on the rest day, just always has a great energy about her and just such a beast on the board. So
Yeah.
just I think she played some incredible games, start to finish, always in the top three, kept that consistency going, whether it was classical, Armageddon. I mean, she's one of the best in the world for so many years for a reason.
And also this thing about Norway Chess, where they have, I think, equal prize fund for both open and women's section, is really cool. I feel it's one of the nice things in the tournament.
It's really motivating, and this is the second year that they have the Norway Chess Women, and I think this really inspires girls everywhere seeing women fight for such, because the reality is that prize money, finances of getting into sport, it's a big factor. It can be a big motivation, or if it's not good enough, it can be something that takes away from it as well. So I think it's a great step, and yeah, hopefully we'll have many more tournaments that follow suit. But it's awesome to see, and Norway doing it. It's a big step towards sort of um, gender equality in sports.
And of course, in the open section, we had Magnus, who won the event, and we have a very nice picture of you with Magnus Carlsen here. It was at the closing ceremony, right?
It was so all. I think a lot of the photos. This photo, in fact, you know who took this photo?
Who?
Aditya.
Oh, wow,
So shout out to Aditya. By the way, he's taken most of the photos that I put in that.
wow.
He's so good, and he was so busy all the time. And he would still find that 1 minute, those 2 minutes to come. And I was like, please, bhai, photo khich lo, and he would do it. Those staircase photos and things like that. But this was at the closing ceremony. In fact, we were getting the photo done. His trophy was lying niche, and I was like, "Oh, can we take it with your trophy?" So then
This is
he
this is your this moment where you like थोड़ा पूछ के देखते हैं क्या होना होगा.
पूछ के देखते हैं क्या होगा. So we were just standing and getting it without it, but then I was like, no, I want one with the Norway Chess Trophy. So he was, yeah,
His
he was. I
seventh
think he's in a
title.
good mood. He also mentioned in an interview that he's finally going for his honeymoon after this
Mm,
tournament. So I think he's really looking forward to that time off, and yeah, such beautiful times ahead. So big congratulations to Ella and Magnus.
right. And I think, Tanya, the biggest moment which everyone took back home from this event was this really huge moment of Magnus and Gukesh. A lot has been spoken about it. A lot of these are videos are doing the rounds of the internet. These are some amazing pictures that have been captured by Norway chess team. You particularly, like, you were there in the thick of things that was there. So what was your thought about this moment? I also have this video. Maybe I can play it a bit and just to get your thoughts here. You guys must be on this video, right? Like when the commentary and all of it was happening.
Yeah, I mean, this was the big marquee matchup of the day, and we were following it pretty much the main match during the whole broadcast. And these are the final moments. Gukesh will make. I think he comes back with his
Night.
knight at
Yes.
this moment, and
Yes.
then Magnus will make another move with his pawn. Right about now, he pushes that central pawn, and Gukesh will give a check. He'll move the king on the left side, and Gukesh moves his king up, and that's it. And he resigns.
I. Oh my god.
Yeah, this was, I mean, we were all very into this match. And when this happened, we were also feeling so much emotion. And you could see it, what was going on, and how much this moment meant to Magnus and to Gukesh. Just all of it. And I think it will be this, it's moments like these that stick in people's memory. At the end of it, few years from now, I think few people will remember that Magnus, what was the opening played in this game. Few people will remember how many points each of them scored. Maybe that he won for the seventh time. Maybe few people will remember Gukesh's personal record against him. But it's these kind of moments that stick by, that bring out the raw emotions of sports. I mean, like if you think about it, we've seen so many of these play out in tennis, in badminton, in football, in cricket. We've seen racket smashes, bats broken, jerseys torn, in those moments when athletes who at times feel superhuman for their abilities have these deeply human moments of just pure raw emotion. And you could see that on Magnus. I mean, when it happened, he was just so furious with himself, and I think it was so difficult to contain that, because he had pretty much outplayed Gukesh the whole game, and he's a player who doesn't give anyone any chances. So to lose from that point, Gukesh just kept on fighting, move by move, staying alive till time trouble hit, and then everything turned around. So there was that. I mean, that was Gukesh's side of it. But to see this being played out, it just, like, it was such a pure raw sporting moment, and I know there were a lot of different views on this that happened eventually. Some people thought that this is not okay. But I just feel that this is sport. And it was clear that this was a deeply human moment of emotions, and one should not mistake it for a moment of any kind of like aggression or anything. It it just felt what we see in other sports just happened to the greatest of all time, and how much this meant to him, that pure rawness of it. And I feel like this just will be remembered forever. I think, we were talking about critical moments of that game. This was the critical moment of the tournament. I think it just brings out how beautiful and difficult and painful and brilliant and everything of that sort sport can be at the top level.
True, true. And also these little moments where Magnus says immediately, like bangs the table, then says sorry, then says, oh my god, then says sorry, then goes like, is angry, but then pats Gukesh on the back. Like he's in this two situation, no? Like he's upset, but at the same time, he knows deep within that he has to be a sportsman there. So it was very cool, like everything that was happening.
Absolutely. I think it was all these emotions and also pure sportsmanship, right? Because he resigned
Yeah.
immediately. He also congratulated Gukesh on his way out. He also apologized for what happened, but you could see what he was feeling. And I think it was in the Norwegian, the official broadcast. And this Anna told me later on that Magnus mentioned there that he got into a taxi, and apparently it was still so much in him. He stopped the car like midway, like he had to get out for air.
Oh.
And we saw him in so many. So this is what this was told by Magnus on that official broadcast, I think, to a question that Anna had asked at some point, that he actually stopped the car and had to step out and sort of just calm himself down because the energy and the emotions was so high. We also saw him in the interviews after he won his match the next day, where he said he's just not fully recovered. Just how much this means. I think for Magnus, even when we had him in our studio, he said, the seventh win or winning the tournament, but it hasn't gone perfectly for him. So it's sort of been a stumbling win for him.
And Tanya, while we spoke about this moment as being the iconic moment of this event, I from a distance, someone who's never been to Stavanger and just watching it from a distance, I feel there are a few things which makes this tournament very special. One of them was this rest day. The amount of effort that goes into making, first of all, the clothes for every player, to create a set, then create the games that they played, like these cowboy games where you had such amazing pictures of Gukesh and Ju together. You had Magnus and Ella together, in that cowboy hat here. And I mean, this is just incredible, the amount of effort that was taken.
It really was. But before we get to the rest day, I want to ask you, what did you, because I know you were also doing a Chess Base India, you were live watching it, the broadcast was on. And you and Amrita were commentating on it. What was your reaction, or how did you feel about it? Because really, I feel like that moment is the one which defines Norway Chess 2025 in so many ways, especially for the non-chess audience.
No, I'm in love with that moment. Also, it doesn't let me, moment you go to Instagram, no one lets you forget it.
Oh,
So many
have you seen
memes.
all the memes around it? They're so funny. कुछ भी चल रहा है भाई, कुछ भी चल रहा है.
I saw two 4 or 5 year old kids do it. I saw
Superb.
old people doing it. People who have no connection to chess. Some are playing Uno, some are playing some Ludo. Everything, every single aspect has been covered.
Table smashing the internet. Fully agree. Like, it's crazy. I mean, I was watching something where two a boy and girl are on a date और वहां पे कुछ हो जाता है और फिर ये हो रहा है और फिर oh my god, it's so funny. Okay, like the internet has just killed it with the
Yeah.
memes on this.
No, and I think it has made chess quite popular because of this, what happened. But for me personally, I like that Gukesh stayed very calm. He never
Yeah.
ever said anything against Magnus. He did not have anything. In fact, he came to, I think, your broadcast and said that he has himself banged tables before, uh, which was very cool.
His composure, even during when he's on the camera, you can see it. I mean, actually, and this is one of the things we spoke so much about during the World Championship match, just that at such a young age, he's able to have that control, that coolness. And I think that played out even here, where one was the career defining moment of having won against Magnus, but also the way he reacted to what was going on in that emotional space. And then he came to our studio and said, he smashed a few tables. In fact, I was like, ye clip to Chess Base India se dhoondni padegi. He's like, yes, hai unke paas. So I don't know. In
Yeah.
fact, I told Aditya to try to find it.
We put it up.
Oh, you
It was
found?
with
Okay.
Ronak Sadhwani at Tata Steel Chess India. He had done this.
Actually,
Yeah, it's there.
ये
We'll
link
put.
में जरूर डालना. I
Yeah.
want to check this out.
Okay, we'll put it here. And also I loved Magnus's gesture of patting on the back. For me, it was a huge moment. Like, I don't know, people have been talking about this banging of the table, but just being able to do this, I was like, wow, this means there is nothing personal. There is nothing against Gukesh. It's just him being unhappy with his own play. So,
I
बहुत
think
मजा
with
आया.
himself, he was so frustrated with what he had let happen. Yeah, you could see the sportsmanship and the emotions all rolled into one in that one moment.
Correct, correct.
And I feel कि chess में ना इतना कुछ internalize हो जाता है that we don't get to see this side of players at all. So it's such a reminder of how much this means even to somebody who's won it all and done it all.
Correct, correct. For Magnus, it was, I think, very important to have a good score against Gukesh. I think to beat him,
Yeah.
and then this right now as it stands, I think it makes their clashes very interesting in future.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
this rest day, Tanya. And also one more thing, apart from the rest day, we also have these moments which I continuously see, which is
Mm-hmm.
these players being greeted by so many fans every day. I feel like Norway Chess has got it right, the right thing, the format, the inclusion of the people there, the fans there, making the players interact with them. Then this rest day part, maybe just your overall impression of all these little things that they take care of. Do you think that it's something, because you've been to Norway so many times, you have, I think, interacted with the organizers as well. Just tell us a bit about that.
So it's a team of three people who kind of put everything together. There's Chell, there's Dia, and Benedicte. And of course, they've got a bigger team, but I think the three of them are sort of managing most of it, and hats off to them. It's really in the details. I think one of the things that they've always spoken about is how important it is for them to see the players happy and everyone working for Norway Chess in a good mind space, good mood to give it their best. So they go back of beyond to make that possible. You had that beautiful photo of the rest day. It was called the Norway Chess Games, and everyone had such an amazing time. Humpy was talking about how she won this. She was the sharpest shooter, and she actually kept that win as a souvenir. That spot that where she had to shoot, and she was like, "I wish my daughter was here because she would have had such a good time." And I think that's what like it reminds people of. I mean, getting one rest day in the middle of after playing 4 rounds, it can be so you want to just be in your room, do your own thing as a chess player, but everyone was so excited about it. They had so much fun competing. Chess players वैसे ही बहुत competitive होते हैं. They were going all out, and I think everyone had a fantastic time. And hats off once again to the organizers to put that together, not to say कि अच्छा we'll all go for just like let's do a
हाँ,
lunch or a dinner or that
नहीं,
usual
बहुत
thing.
एफर्ट लगता है ऐसा करने में. आई
बहुत
थिंक
thoughtfulness
it
जाती है
takes
यार.
almost like another event only you're putting inside an event. And someone would think, why to do all this at the end of the day? But I think that just this putting together this thing shows how much they care for the players.
And then, like you showed that photo of the fans outside, every day there would be so many of them waiting they knew what time the players arrived. So matches used to start at 5 o'clock, and then 10-15 minutes before that. And there used to be this huge line of young kids, But of course, I think the most popular, and understandably so, was Magnus. Everyone was just waiting for him all the time. Sometimes, in fact, I felt because we would have the whole scene on our cameras that when there was a really big game and Magnus wanted to kind of stay in the zone, he would get out of the car much later because he's somebody, I think, especially when kids are waiting to take an autograph, he has the biggest smile on his face and he never says no to them. Like, no matter how much in a rush he is, how late he's getting, we've all noticed that in tournaments. He always stops for that. But there were these games, I think the last round as well, that he played, the last match as well, that he played against Arjun. Usse pehle, I think Hikaru. After that loss with Gukesh,
I think he
you could
beat Fabi also before that penultimate round where he.
right. He played Fabi. No, he played Fabi before he played Gukesh.
नहीं नहीं, लास्ट में जब कैटलान वाला गेम हुआ एंड देन ही, इट वाज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट विन फॉर हिम एंड फाबी वाज लीडिंग.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, this was after Fabi had lost a
correct.
better position, I think, against Arjun, right? Where Arjun then
Correct.
turned it around,
Correct.
and then he was playing against Magnus. This was after the rest day because they had a rest day in the middle. So yeah, and I think there were moments when he would get out really late, but it was so good to see the way the fans also inside the playing hall, they would always applaud after like a big win, really invested. The format of Norway chess, how much they have completely cracked it with that. And so much thought has gone behind it. It just makes it so exciting, Sagar, that every game, every day has a decisive result, has a winner at the end of it. I think the players love it, the commentators love it, and most important, like for the chess fans, it's such a treat. They've really cracked the format.
Correct. I think everyone who I've spoken to has loved Norway chess, and every person who has visited Stavanger says that it's something worth visiting. It's one of the best tournaments of their life. So they are definitely doing something very very awesome there.
You have to come for it. I
Yes.
mean, now next year, I think this year would have convinced you for sure. I know that, you probably did a lot behind the scenes here and maybe felt more productive about it. But Sagar, like Norway Chess is one tournament you and Amrita have to be there. And you asked me, right, why I call it the tournament of the year when we started this interview. I think all these things put together, the the details that the organizers go to, the format that they've come up to, the playing field as it is every year. I mean, this was probably one of the strongest playing fields that
Yes.
I've seen in any super elite tournament. The organization of it, the drama that happens, which is just the perfect recipe for iconic moments like we've seen in this one, for the big wins, the big losses, the big emotional situations. So Norway chess mein wo hota hi hota hai.
Correct.
Last year also I remember Prague had won against Magnus,
Yes.
right? It was
Yes.
his first big win. So it's something or the other is always dramatic, but apparently in the end there's only one guy who always wins.
And he said he may play again. So who knows? Next year he will play Norway chess again, and we will see that. Tanya, you've been part of every big tournament that's happening, commentating, calling the moves. What's next for you now? Where will we see you? It's people are always looking forward to where you will be doing the commentary next.
Thank you. I am very happy with the way I think we had such a great time covering this tournament, but it's always a nice feeling to come back home and I want to take a few days off. I've got the freestyle qualifiers coming up next week. So that'll be an online event that's happening on chess.com. So I'll be calling on that. And then I'll be seeing you and Amrita in Vegas, I hope,
Yes.
for the next freestyle Grand Slam. And then we'll see. Apparently, World Cup has been announced for Goa, Sagar Shah.
Oh yes, I
So
got to know that it's
कुछ तो
March.
करना होएगा उसके लिए. कुछ तो
थोड़ा
crazy करना
थोड़ा
होगा.
I think we have to have the party attire for that event, and then maybe there's also the EWC World Cup and a lot of esports World Cup, lot of things coming up this year. And Tanya, you've been very kind to find time for this interview. I know you are in a hurry, so thank you so much for doing this.
Yes, and I know that there was one more thing that we have to do, and maybe we'll find time to do it tomorrow. I know you're in London, Sagar. I wish you all the best. I'm looking forward to following all the action
What was
on
that
Chess
one thing?
Basin. We had to see a game now.
वो हम we'll do it next time. Yeah,
We'll do it
this
because
in itself is very nice without any chess and a lot of nice conversations.
done it. But I also would love to do that. I wonder if our chat can guess which game we wanted to dive into. We'll see. But they'll probably know. If you get time, because I'm at home doing nothing this whole week, Sagasha. So always available. But thank you so much. Reliving Norway chess with you. Best way to do it because थोड़े withdrawals हो रहे थे. थोड़ा सा sad लग रहा था कि कुछ ज़्यादा ही जल्दी खत्म हो गया. So really glad to have chatted and kind of just gone through it all over again in my head.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank you so much. Bye.
London में मजे करो and we'll all be watching.
Thank you.
Are you doing the commentary?
No, it's on ground coverage. We'll be covering on ground.
Okay, chalo.
Bye.
Bye. All the best.
Thank you.